You don't know baby shit. You don't know, that's why you looking at me, because you don't know baby shit.
How y'all doing out there tonight, man? It's BabyD. I'm jumping out my element tonight, going to the fashion world a little bit. I got my wife, Dedicated Grind, here with me tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here. Follow me on all social media, Dedicated Grind 17, and the website dedicatedgrind.org.
Y'all go look them up for real, man. Got my wife, the Mind Clothing over here, BD, better known as BD. Y'all look him up for real.
Yeah, man. You got Brendan Todd, founder and owner of the Mind Clothing. You can find me on us on all social media platforms at The Mind Clothing, and you can go to the website at themindclothing.com.
Y'all please like, share, comment, subscribe. Check the link in the bio down there, you know what I'm saying? Instagram, Facebook, on all platforms. BabyD TV, look us up, man. So this out of my element tonight, y'all. Fashion, I'm not a fashion guy for real. I'm more of a sports, music guy, you know what I'm saying? My main domains, you know what I'm saying? But tonight, I got these fine young men here tonight, you hear me? They know something. Y'all look them up, they got plenty of drip for y'all, especially men. But you know, we do kids. Man, y'all know what y'all do. I can't speak for y'all. But
yeah, man. I would speak for both of us at this moment because we collectively we do toddlers, youth. You know, we do sweaters, hoodies, t-shirts, shorts. You know,
hats,
socks.
We put it on everything.
Exactly.
Put it on everything.
How 2023 y'all?
2020. Hey, I really thought it was gonna be a curse, but it really turned into be a blessing. Like it really just opened your eyes up, brought it like they say, like it give you more time to think, give you more time to create, and then just really just dig in and just fine tune some things that you really need to iron out. So 2020 was big for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. 2020 for us with the Mind Clothing was we had to really hone in because that was when, you know, we had the COVID outbreak. On top of that, we opened a brick and mortar, a physical location. So you think about still creating design, still pushing marketing, and then in the midst of COVID-19, opening a store and having to postpone your grand opening for 3 months.
Man.
So man, that was a drastic change, and it was tough. But man, hey, any obstacles can be, you know, you can overcome any obstacles. So yeah, that was.
You got to give it to him for that. The man said he opened up a store. Like, ain't too many people around.
Black owned, man.
Yeah.
For real. That's the main thing. That's the main thing we pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For real.
On Main Street of that too. So.
And it made you stronger and gave you a better outlook for 2021. Cause like, for me personally, the pandemic put me in a woodshed. I call it a woodshed. It made me open up on my ideas and what I want to do in 2021. And it made me hone in on it and really just focus, tunnel vision on everything, man. That's what it did for me.
Correct.
But I know y'all sales been going up.
Yeah.
How the sales was like last year or whatever.
Well, yeah, I'm a salesman, so like sales is always trying to go up and trying to increase. You gonna have your downtime, you gonna have your down month, but you gotta go in and just try to figure out like why didn't I sell good on this day? What could I have done better? And just try to get better every day. So.
And you just kind of, in a sense, got to focus on the passion of what you're doing, not the profits. Because as he mentioned, you're going to have down months, slow months, transitions to the point where you're not making what you used to make, but you got to keep something in that marketing budget too, so you can always push out there. You can have an amazing product, but if don't nobody know about it, if it ain't selling, what's the point? Like,
that key to all the young
point?
people that watching, like marketing. If you don't know how to market, you ain't gonna sell. Like you'll sell to your friends and family, but if you don't know how to market your product,
use that social media platform.
You definitely got to use it. Like if you don't know how to market, you go shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
See that, I ain't no salesman, no sales type guy.
No. Let me correct you.
Everyone
is a salesman. I don't care what you do. You can be a DJ, a recording artist, an actor. You are a salesman.
How do you sell yourself to a church?
Hey, you right.
How does an actor get a role?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? How does a musician goes to, as he said, goes to play for, a company? Or how does an artist get a deal? They have to sell them, so they have to market that video. They have to. Everyone's a salesman. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you say, I don't deal with people, I don't like people, you still a salesman. You have to sell yourself to get to that company.
See that in 2020.
That's what an interview is. You really selling yourself to the person. Everybody that did the interview.
Right.
Like, you really selling yourself. Why should I hire you? That's a question. Yeah. There's something that they asking. So everybody is a salesman. You just got to bring it out on them. They got to find their niche. You know what they sell.
It's just one of those subconscious things that you don't know you're doing.
Yeah,
but you're doing it.
I had all the experiences, so I know exactly what y'all was saying, man.
How did you get us on the show?
Hey, real talk.
You had to sell the idea of what it was going to, be.
I got a good friend. He told me a long time ago. He said, nobody's going to market you. Nobody's going to sell you. You got to sell yourself. He told me for real, man. Nobody's going to drive you. Somebody's going to push you like, so you can push yourself.
Yeah,
you never get
ain't
nowhere.
nobody going to run your business like you run your business either. So ain't nobody going to go hard as you.
They got to be within you first, you know what I'm saying? 2020 pretty much taught me to lock in on myself and on my vision and what I want to do for myself, my business, my music, my podcast and everything. And like for you guys, like, when was that point for y'all where y'all just launch y'all business or want to come out with clothing lines and stuff like that?
Well, for me, it started in 2015, 2016, because that was my senior year of college. And so I had to do a business plan, and crazy enough, I did the business plan on a fashion line. I didn't intend on actually creating a fashion line though, but once I really started digging deep into it, and the startup costs and everything, and I've always loved fashion since I was young, man. I can show you baby pictures when I was, my parents would just put me in that drip. So I was like, I always been into the fashion, but as I got older, I got more into like different styles, different fabrics, and the entire what fashion consists of, and what it means as a whole.
Art,
and then in college, I also got into mentoring and inspiring people, and going to speak to high school students and having, mentoring my peers. And so I just always been into elevating people's way of thinking. Right. And so with that being said, 2015, 16, I worked on behind the scenes for the Mind Clothing. Watched many people who I went to school with release brands. Yeah. I'm talking about selling shirts, like selling hundreds of shirts probably a day.
You're right.
Killing it. And I'm just like, man, what? I love fashion. I love inspiring people. So after that, after that year and a half of cooking up designs and all that, the research part of things and just getting everything established, in 2017 of March, I launched. And honestly, I was selling shirts and hats. That's about it. But then people really started knowing about it because 2017, 2018, shirts and hats. 2018, 2019 was a rebranding stage. Right. During me rebranding, had an accident. We'll get into all that kind of stuff maybe later, but you know what I'm saying? But then I released a certain design after I came from the accident, and it became a staple for the brand. And next thing you know, I couldn't keep a shirt or sweater in stock, and then that's when I put on my vision board, like, hey, let's open this store, man.
Got a store, man. Black owned, man, for real.
So yeah, I've been doing this. Well, if you want to be technical, probably like 5-6 years, but since it released March 2017.
Yes, sir. So, and how about you, bro?
Yeah, and see, I started the same year. I started March 2017. There were people don't know that we both started at the same time. Dang. But yeah, mine's a little bit different. Like 2014, like I lost everything that I had. Like I lost my job. I ain't had no money, so I just really had to come out and just start working different jobs, just what I call jobs of grind, like to just make money, like cutting grass, selling books, going on the road with my grandfather at the bookstore. Like I had to do everything I had to do to really just survive. And so like when I was doing it, they were dedicated grind, which is really boring because it wasn't really at that time. It went on me, but it was in me. Yeah. So and so like when I did that, like I was just like, man, I'm gonna come up with me a brand because I got tired. Really, I created the brand just because I got tired of buying joint shorts. I did want to match the shoes. I'm like, let me make something to match the shoes. My wife had just got a Cricket. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just take this over. Started making. And then so I said, so what I'm gonna call it? And then so we just got the brainstorming. They were like, well, you always working. And then I'm like, yeah. And I looked down at my arm, looked at the tattoo and seen dedication. I'm like, dedicated grind. And everybody was just in the kitchen. They were just in agreement. I just seen the look on their faces when I said it, and I knew what it meant to me because it was just really authentic because it come from me. Like I said, and then they were just the rest was history. Like once I put it on the shirt, it was a red and white shirt. I started off with a couple of colors, and like he's saying, like I just started saying, I'm walking through the mall, people just telling me like, hey, I like that shirt. I'm dedicated to my grind. Where can I get one? And at that moment, I wasn't even thinking about it because I'm making them for myself. So once I seen 5 or 6 people, I said, let me go dig in a little deeper. Let me go and get legitimized, and then I'm gonna start selling these shirts. And the rest been history, man. The support been unreal ever since 2017. So.
Man, that's another thing I want to ask y'all too. Like, how long have y'all been licensed? Like, I know a lot of people, like, when they started clothing line, they just jump out there and don't know nothing about the business. You know, like, did y'all experience that?
Look, let me say,
that's a different side now. Like,
yeah, let me say this though.
That's the business side of things.
Yeah, let me say something on the camera that both of us got business degrees, so we already kind of know about that.
Oh, okay.
So we both got business management degrees. So
we got business degrees, but a business degree is not to require.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But it gives you the insight on what to do and how to handle business before you even start a business.
But I'm gonna be honest, and once you legitimately think about starting a brand, and even if it's just t-shirts, when you just getting out there, you ain't thinking about getting an LLC, getting a trademark, and all those things. But those are very important things. I'll be honest with you. I only started off with the LLC. Yeah. My logo wasn't trademarked until probably 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but I had the brand 4 years.
But did you know that when you first started, though? Like,
I knew that I wanted to do it, but I told myself this: let me go for a year and see how seriously I'm taking it. But then, once the year went by, once I started rebranding, and I wasn't really focused on pushing the brand, it was like, why get a trademark? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But then after I got back into it, you know, after my accident stuff, like, we're gonna get this trademark, it's about to get real. Well, only 5 for me. 5 toes.
I feel you, man. Don't put still on that aspect, don't put a ceiling on, because, you know, there's some other things you might want to jump into, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but still on that. But how about you, like?
Really, like I always thought about it from the first. You got to think, I grew up in business. My grandfather got a business, so he already was kind of telling me when I told him what I wanted to start. He was like, make sure you get it legalized. That really was just first before I go doing something and then somebody else just steal it. Like that's what I would have just hated.
What you think about?
Like that's exactly what he was thinking. Don't let nobody come steal it from you. So keep your mouth closed and go do this first before you start to celebrate. That's start to push it and start to do so. Like he really was like my grandfather was really big because he was already a businessman, an entrepreneur himself. So like it really helped me like to see like okay, I need to do this first.
And then that things of that nature is so specific. Like for example, how he has dedicated grind trademark that's belong to him, but it's subcategories. So he got dedicated grind under clothing, hats, shoes, all those types of things. Now somebody may start a dedicated grind food truck. And he may not be able to say it. See,
that's something like I wouldn't know they jumped into the game. Like
exactly. You don't know that type of stuff. But when it comes to specifics, like if I wanted to, you know, create a, like I say, let's say a food truck. Right. And then the mind other foods or something. I don't know. You know, you gotta, that's a whole nother trademark. That's a whole nother process. Right. So it's very, whole nother process. It's different. The stuff is very tedious. So you really gotta either talk to somebody or just reach out and ask somebody for advice.
Because when you're doing it like in that bed, you really want to do it on something that's not stealing what you sell. Really. So that's why it's on the hats, the shirts, the socks. You want to do everything you go sell. And at that time, I wasn't even selling all these items, but what you got the potential to want to see it on. So like I wanted to see it on everything. So I'm like, all these categories that fall under clothing, I'm going to put it on baseball jersey, onesie, underwears. I ain't made a pattern.
And also, they follow up on the creativity. Like, who y'all look up? Not who y'all look up, but what makes y'all like? Do y'all ever be like, I don't want to make this logo because it look like this logo, or you don't care? Like, do you care about stuff like that?
Yeah, you got to care.
Different. Like,
you don't want to get sued.
Right.
I mean, it's some people that like, they don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't care, and that's called instant gratification.
They'll take your logo and put different letters. Like, you know, they'll take like.
We didn't talk about that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
we see it every day.
And that's why my logo is trademarked in every color in the world. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't use my logo in pink, green, white, black, yellow, nothing. And so when people just create something, I wouldn't even say create, when they just take something they've seen and want to put it out there because they think, oh, I can sell shirts like this or something, it eventually can come back and bite you. So you want to be careful. I'm going to be honest, one of the biggest things, I know we talked about marketing, but really that's big. What's bigger than marketing before you even start is research. And after you start too, like research is key. Like research is key.
Research and retaining, and then also retaining the knowledge too.
Yeah,
like you got like you can research it and read it, but then you can retain it because you got to be able to know. Like the quicker you know, the quicker you can show. Like, the quicker you can go, like the quicker I know where to go to get it. Like if you don't retain it, you like, well, I'm looking at it, and it just really just go stumble you. Like
you gotta write it down and study.
Like we always say, man, that time values. Like you really got to do that.
And you can go back and create your own identity by going and look at all these different logos, different clothing lines. You want to set yourself apart, so you really creating your own identity by doing this sometimes. Because I know in the music industry, that's what I did. I paid attention to other musicians and whatnot, and I created my own style. And you know what I'm saying? Created my own. I want my own person. Like you know, it's me playing or whatever.
Right.
Same thing with clothing. Like I know this, your dedicated grind. I know this ain't somebody else imitating you. You know what I'm saying?
You always want to be authentic.
Original, like.
I did flirt with that in the past. Had a couple instances where people told us, man, they like a Dollar General logo.
See what I'm
then they were
saying?
like, this look like the Dolce & Gabbana. I'm like, nah, it ain't that. So it make you go back into it, go back into the booth and restart this over, and let me just go back in and cause you like I said, I want to set myself apart. I don't want to be, oh yeah, that look like this. That look like that. No,
that's everybody goal. So when it comes to naming and logo, that's huge. Like you gotta really take your time. Like I was telling somebody, it probably took me 6 months to a year to come up with that. Like every day, but I was writing down something. Brain done, Brandon. Brain the collection, the intern. Like you just write down every single thing. Even when the idea sounds crazy, you still jot it down because at the end of the day, you don't know where that weird word that you thought of may lead you to. It may lead you to coming up with the name of your brand. So
for me, I want y'all for somebody sitting in y'all shoes right now, 2017 for y'all. Y'all were thinking about dropping. What's some advice y'all can give them, the young generation right now?
Of course, like what he said, research, making sure you got a plan and set it out. And like you said, write it down. Making sure that you do everything from top to bottom. And research the product, research where you want to get it, research where you want to get it from, research, and then too, you got to reach out. You can't be so big and boastful that you just say I got it and I don't.
Man, that's a big thing nowadays. People scared to ask for help. They want to be able to themselves. You need help, man. You need support.
Everybody want to say they technically got it out of the mud.
No,
and
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was just about to make a joke and say the best advice I can give is set up a consultation with me. But I'm joking, but I'm serious because at the end of the day, I would rather pay somebody $50 for an hour of information that will save me $1,000 down the line, or save me 6 months worth of research. It only makes sense if we're talking monetary. If you know what you do now, but a lot of times, me and Demetrius, we're out here giving just advice. It's not even like we're just. I'm not gonna call the people.
Give your own time. We come.
I didn't have that though.
Right.
We'll come. I used to come to the shop every Wednesday just to tap in. BD, boom, he gave me the product. Chanel, I need some patches. He did this. Who you go to over here? I gave him that. We help each other out. They'll understand. We working together. We trying to there's a bag out there with both our names on. We go get it together. We ain't no use compete with our brothers though.
Man, come together, brotherhood, good brotherhood, black people. You know what I'm saying? Come together.
Because that's what it's about. Because at the end of the day, even though, we say, y'all ask that we help plenty of people, and we don't mind helping, but you got to also understand that we're operating a business. So it's not just, if you tell me you're going to be there at 7 o'clock and I'm going to meet with you for an hour, be there at 7 if I'm going to give you some information. I'm going to show you how to set up a website. Don't keep playing because then we're going to say, nah, you're not serious enough. Come back to me when you're serious because I can't be wasting, this precious time when I could be cooking up a design or talking to my manufacturers about my next, or stitching, right? Or stitching up a design or something, So I do that too. So just never know. And a lot comes with this stuff. You got to book models. Yeah. You got to book photographers, videographers.
It ain't easy.
That's not my element right now.
Hey, my family in the background right now. I call him and say I got to come to the studio and record a voiceover. Yeah. You have to. have so many things in place, and it's not just I'm gonna go to work at 10, get off at 4. It's over with. You gotta
know what you're getting yourself into.
You be working too hard.
Since I started the brand, I ain't went to bed on time yet. Like I said, I'm gonna be in bed this time and wind up. I said I'm gonna be to bed at 11. I'll be at 3 in the morning. I'm just not going to bed because you don't know what that grind go entail.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand like that craft. It go always lead you to different things. You can speak
Ideal
on music. Like you can be in there cooking up something. You could be producing something.
Oh, true.
And then just get way off key. You fall in love with that craft all over again.
Yeah.
Like every blank canvas I stared, I'd be like, okay, I'm in here. I might turn on some beats and just start going crazy. You know, like y'all need crazy to cook up.
So listen, do any other clothing line like say it's like Nike, Adidas, like growing up we was on that pretty heavy. Like any fashion, like any line that really just y'all just honed in on like I want to become that one day.
I'm gonna be honest. I'll tap into this one. I always tell myself there's up and coming brands that may be not as young as my brand that I like, that no one who I surround myself around may not even know about the brand. But these people are creators, they're artists, and when I see they work, I cling on to it. But if I had to tell you someone who was just out there, as far as global, internationally, it would be Off-White. Because Virgil, his level of creativity when it comes to like him, the way he put not only his designs together when he's in collaboration with shoes, but in his fashion as well. His placements of products of the items, or the design or graphics on the shirt, the fabrics, the style. He's into architect. So because I went to his museum tour probably 2 years ago, and he's into architect. He combines that into the fashion world. You had to really research and dig into him to really understand. See, me, I'm into the entertainment side of things. So when it comes to marketing and writing commercials and setting up scenarios for photo shoots, I'm into that. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? That's already a part of me. I'm already into writing sitcoms and in the filming world. So like in acting, all that comes, it's natural. Yeah. But I just mesh them together, and it's a beautiful thing, man. I tell you, it's beautiful.
I don't really look too much at nobody. I got a sign on my little offer that say you gonna be bigger than Nike. It's just the way I put that in my head every single day that I leave out of the offer that you gonna be bigger than Nike. Not saying that I just really.
Guess what? You are. Change your sign.
You are.
You know what I'm saying? Speak it into existence.
Like,
let that
manifest.
Let that manifest.
Then like the people I watch like, to me, I took the different approach. I watch like the Dame Dash and the Jay-Z move with the Rockaway. And everybody know how Rockaway was back in the days, and just the way that they get in, like, cause they really want to get in and sell it.
Right.
So like they really didn't want to get in and cling on it, but it's just still you want to take away, like, how do they control, like,
such a mass market, and when it comes to that, that's why you have to be in something. You have to think longevity. I think when I was creating this brand, I didn't think, man, we're gonna be hot this year, we're gonna be hot this month, or this next year. Yeah. It's the slow growth for me. It's the being hot. For 100 years, it's Coca-Cola. I don't really too much like name dropping on podcasts and stuff, but Coca-Cola. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, long time. Yeah. You got fashion brands who people that are still relevant in 2021, and these brands came out in the 1700s, 1800s. How long will your brand last? Yeah. You are before BabyD at podcast is a brand. Yeah. BabyD's a brand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So how long will your brand last? Like, don't think trendy.
Yeah. Like when your brand die with you, like the day you die, the day your brand go die, you want this brand to live on.
Right.
Like how deep to put it. It's really that deep when you want to get into it. And if you ain't into it that deep, then you got to define what you're passionate about.
And I'm not saying this because my brand is called The Mind, but put the mind first, not the money. Once you think monetary, that's all. Yeah. You lose sight of what it is you really want to. You know what I'm saying? What you really. Because let me tell you what happens. When I'm running this store, and I have a slowdown, I'm like, man, I made $50. If I'm in it for the money, that next day I may not even want to come to work.
Yeah. Cause you don't made your
But
profit,
guess no. But cause I only made $50.
Yeah.
What if last week I made $500 that day? So what I'm trying to tell you is you got to be more so focused on what it is that you're doing. How can you consistently grow? How can you be persistent in your designs versus the monetary? The money don't come. The money is just the result of your great work. You know. So,
and for the customers, like, what's some advice I can give them? Like, do they? Okay, for me personally, I be laughing at like people who I be laughing at people like who try to get over on y'all, like, cause they know y'all personally. Like, I know some like my homie got a clothing line and nigga want to favor every time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or don't want to pay the full price. Like, how y'all feel about that?
That business is everybody
That-
want a discount, but it's just on you to stay focused and not buy into them. Like, you got to sell your product. Like, no, you have to say no. Like,
guess
you
what?
going that way.
What we talk about? I mean,
Yeah.
once you start giving away that stuff, you'll see how long that business lasts.
And then too, you go do it, and then they go be like, man, I got this from BD, and then that thing, you know, it go start
Everybody
changing. Ain't
gonna
nobody gonna
expect
keep
it,
it to themselves and be like, it go be, I got this from BD for $25 and then
But listen,
$45.
did y'all like ever do that? Did y'all below y'all standards and do that?
No, I'm
So,
gonna be
Now,
honest.
From the jump, y'all just.
I ain't gonna necessarily say I did it, but I gave shirts away. Like,
Yeah.
I gave shirts away to the school though. Like, I went to the
Okay,
high school
yeah,
and,
that's
gave
different.
it in. I'm like, let me
and
give it
I'm
to the
gonna be
young
honest.
kid, and then now all the young kid rock it. I just took in 300 shirts and said I'm gonna give it to them.
I'm reading a book called Perennial Marketing, which perennial means everlasting. In the book Everlasting Marketing, I just got through a chapter probably a couple of days ago that speaks about musicians and artists giving away their work for free. Sometimes that's a part of it. Sometimes what you don't know is that does increase your sales.
That's right, bro.
Because
I
people
speak from the music aspect.
either free or cheap.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you may, like, let's just think about Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
You got those 3 months of the Amazon Prime free, and after that, when they was like, "We'll charge you," like, "Well, y'all done gave me 3 months free." I'm accustomed to these. I've been getting these free items. I mean, it's fast shipping. Now I'm gonna just keep on. I'm gonna just let y'all go and pay me. I'm just going to pay y'all $10-15 a month now. So sometimes you need to give away stuff free or at a very low discounted rate, especially once you can still make profit from it.
Yeah.
Come on.
If it make $1, it makes sense. So
Right. And sometimes it's about exposure over profits anyway. I say it all the time. What's the point of you selling, like, you get your shirt made for $15, you selling it for $300 when you could have been selling it for $45, having more customers, which means more eyes see your brand.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey, you branding yourself. Yeah.
You gotta,
hey, you educate me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the people who are selling the brand.
Yeah.
That's the biggest form of marketing. Now you need other sources of marketing, but the people gonna continue to push your brand because they wearing it. And people they saying, "Where you got it from?" "Oh man, I got it from such and such." Man, yeah, go get you one.
Yeah.
You gotta make them fall in love with your brand. Become.
It's real. But don't y'all be acting like y'all can't pay the full price because y'all paying the full price for the other establishments.
Yeah,
so,
that's what you gotta say,
you know
too.
what I'm saying? Like,
Somebody come in with a full 2-piece Nike suit on,
Yeah.
ain't gonna be like, "Man, yeah, I just got this from Nike. How much you pay?" "Oh, I
Unless
paid
y'all
$250.
going to that,
But it's $100 right here, bro. Look, you
y'all going to
You gotta stick to
You somebody going to the
man,
flea market. Flea market.
Y'all paying the full price.
Got that two guys, eh? Two guys,
Yeah. It's all about marketing, man. Branding. Like 2021, my goal is to market myself and push myself in the music, in podcasts, and every platform I'm on. Really, man. Like that's what I'm focused on, man. Like I don't know what y'all goals are. Like y'all gotta speak too detail on it.
Like, I try to get better every 24 hours. So and then everybody want to see them 6-7 figures coming. So like I'm always speaking that into existence, like trying to see that coming. Like, okay, you here now, but what you gonna do with it? So you gotta take it to the next level. So take the next step. That's the way I talk to myself. Like I'm coaching myself every day, Lord. It just be
Every
crazy.
day.
Like I coach myself and
coach
like
what?
to get the best out of like 24 hours. Like,
Good
I got the
guess.
same 24
Time is
hours.
money.
I got the same 24-hour Oprah Winfrey and Bill Gates. God, they ain't got no more hours in the day. It's just all about what you do with it and how hard you put it into your passion.
Right.
And then dedicated grounded all 100% of whatever you're passionate about. Exactly what it is. So
And like, man, let me speak. Like, on that. Like me, I had my brother, my godbrother told me, like, cause I wasn't doing it, man. I always have ideas. I'm always being creative and stuff, but I never just took the time to just really focus on myself for real. I'm always helping somebody else, looking for somebody else. And he was like, bro, if you really want to lunch, you really want to do this, get you a notebook. And every day, he said every day, he like every day, write something that you're doing productive towards yourself every day. And if you don't do it, as long as you thought about it, as long as you had that little moment that you took time to focus on your business or whatever you're doing, man. Sometimes be that simple, man. Like you can just every day make sure you're doing something, man. Like he said, every day he motivating himself. Like it can a journal, get you a journal. Write in there every day. Did you go do this? Or no, I didn't do this today. Well, tomorrow I'm gonna try to go look up this. I'm gonna do this, research this, whatever, man. Try, man. Like be self-driven, basically.
I'm gonna say two things. Probably it may end up being more than two, but the first thing I'm gonna say is I just got better.
Yeah.
I just got better just then because every nanosecond I'm looking to see how I can stimulate my mental to push me in a new direction, for me to venture out and to just think of something so cool and creative that I shock or change the world. Yeah. So it's always another step forward for me. But when it comes to fashion, I love it. But I also love business, especially businesses that aren't as common. Yeah. So I am working on other business endeavors as well. But I got a fashion book that I'm tapping into every day too. So it's all about balance. But let me go to another thing too. We're going to take trying out of our vocabulary because if we keep trying, then that's the only thing we're doing.
Hey,
we keep trying. We're trying and trying. When are we going to be, when are we doing?
Yeah. When are we doing?
When are we executing? Yeah. When are we making it happen?
For real.
We can keep trying all our life. That's just like somebody say, what you doing? Oh, I'm chilling. I can't call it. Yes, I can call it. I can call it. I know the number.
Yeah. You're
right, man. I can call it.
You're right, man. You know what I'm saying? That was me. Like, I would procrastinate. I was just sitting on, just chilling.
Right.
Forever, man. I was just chilling.
Procrastination is a real killer. Like, in anything you do, shoot. And procrastinating in life, like, that's a real killer. Like, if you procrastinate on what you're going to do, and you just saying, I'm going to do this in an hour, and then you might miss the opportunity. Like, you might miss the opportunity to meet that person. Like, they might say, who you called down here buying a shirt? And then you didn't miss the opportunity because you said, I'm going to go to sleep. Like,
I was just talking to my brother just about 2 days ago. Like, do you lose that chance you're going to take that risk? Like,
the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You take that risk, like, man, you got to jump out. Whatever y'all doing, like, whatever y'all got going on, whatever gift you got, like, man, don't be scared. Don't be afraid to jump out there and do it, man. This right here.
Bet on yourself. That's exactly what it is.
I would rather say, you know, I at least made an attempt. Yeah. Just think about if you're 20 years old and you want to do something, and then you like at 60 saying, man, if I would. Yeah. Just think about what, man, you could have built international company, multi-billion-dollar company, but you kept telling yourself, man, man, you could have done change the world by now, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, think about these people like Elon Musk. This man was poor in Africa, living in Africa. Look at this man got a space company now.
He leading himself, man.
And then too, it ain't never too late.
It ain't never too late.
People be thinking KLC, like 60 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like. You ain't started making chicken at 60 and now look at KFC.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't never too late. But like you said, you might need to jump on it, but you just gotta find what you. It takes a long time for somebody to really just find what they're passionate about. They just like relationship with personal people. It find a long time for you to find the one. So that business, you like. I just seen the interview with Mark Cuban, and he said you only gotta be right one time, like in your business. Like they being to be right and coming between the right person one time and change the lifestyle.
Y'all preaching right, man.
Like it's just how easy it can
be. I'm a license, y'all, man. I'm a
pulpit.
Yes, sir. Overseer. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Well, that about wrap it up for me, man. We don't talk some good, have some good vibe, man. Talking shit I don't know about, really. You know what I'm saying? But
you talking in, though.
I'm telling y'all, educated me for real, man. Y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. You know, we just had a little conversation about fashion tonight. Conversation, Rude Nation. Y'all believe in yourself. You know, you should be motivated after this. Lead the field. Filth Mob ain't in the building. We still getting filthy tonight. Better believe that. But we in there, you know.
We're getting filthy with fashion.
With fashion.
Gonna get a
Getting
little,
filthy with
gonna
fashion
get a little
tonight.
dirt on our clothes.
Yeah, get a little dirt, get a little dash, man. Cause you know yourself out tonight, man.
What was your worst customer experience?
Well, I'll say one of my this was one of my a customer came in and the sleeve was off the shirt. They told me that they bought the shirt and they say when they put it on that's how it was. But I'm pretty sure no one has ever encountered where you put on the shirt and your whole this like it was in the seams, like it was like the whole what I know happened because I'm into the stuff. I know that it was a string that was pulled, and then you just kept pulling, and then you just kept pulling, and then you turned your shirt inside out and you pull and you ripped it some more, and it just ended up becoming where you took a sleeveless shirt.
And they thought they were getting warranty
and they brought the shirt back, and I was kind enough to give them another shirt when I know in reality in the real world that just would have ended up being an upset customer.
Yeah.
See, for me, I had at a pop-up shop, I had a customer that I knew wore a 2X.
Oh, yeah,
they wanted a large, and I'm sitting in I'm telling people like she need a 2X. She need bigger than that. Like these large are tight. She bought it, and then she told me like she went in, and then she came back to brought a friend, and then she bent over and the pant ripped.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, and then I'm just thinking to myself like it was just a work customer moment because I know, but to me, you know, in my head I'm like, tell the customer what they want. The customer always right. So I gave her what she wanted, and then but it didn't work out. But I'm like, and then when she said, I said.
So she thought she had warranty on that too.
Nah, she ain't had no warranty. It wasn't a lifetime guarantee.
No.
Some people just want to push it to the limit.
Yeah.
If it's tight, it ain't always right.
Yeah, you know.
How do you react to people who speak down on your art?
I think that's just I don't really react to it. Yeah. Especially when it's not constructive. If it's constructive criticism, I got an open ear for it. But if it's just straight bashing, but then again, everything you release not gonna be fire to everybody. Like you can't appeal 100% every time to everyone. That's just the nature of it. So I just accept it as it is, and somebody may be like, I don't like that. It's been times when people don't like.
And I asked, I don't even really react, but I asked why. Like, just tell me why. I want to know. Just like you say, that constructive criticism. Like, let me know where I'm taking the L at.
Yeah.
Like, let me see the L before I fall, and I done did 300 of these. It might not be it, like you said.
Yeah.
Everything ain't gonna be fire. Like,
right. And if you can't explain it, then that just
it
is
ain't
what it is.
It ain't no use of going back and forth with nobody about talking on the art. Like, cause it's like, it all day. It's all art. It's all platform.
Yeah.
Like you ain't gonna let nobody come tell you what you want to do. Like no matter how much, if your heart 100% in it, it don't matter about none of that. Like people go talk down on you. People go talk up on you. It's just like.
Appreciate your support and appreciate your big funds. Yeah.
How has being an entrepreneur affected your personal life and family time?
Well, me personally, like a lot of people don't know, I work a full 8-hour job before I even do dedicated grinding. Then I work, and then like me, I'm big on telling, don't give yourself 8 hours just the same way you gave somebody else. So that's 16 hours. So it affect a lot of stuff, like a lot of not going out. And for my wife, I'm like, she say I'm never in the bed. So it affect your personal life if you don't, or you want to go sell these shirts at the pop-up and then they have this event over here. So it affect your personal life, but you got to learn how to balance it. You got someday you got to just shut it down and be like, hey, this day for you, you just got to, that work-life balance got to be a key part. And like I said, getting that mental right.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm disciplined. So if somebody like, hey, you know, I know you're closed, but no, I would not respond. I would do not disturb because my peace of mind is more important than anything. And I'm a super firm, huge believer in, you know, having a balanced life. You know, it's been times where time wouldn't let me do something, but someone offered a massive amount of money for me to do it, and I still wouldn't do it because it wasn't about the money. It was about, You know what I'm saying? Me having that time to be with my
Yeah,
family
right.
and me being at peace. So
Oh, yeah.
you just gotta
Yeah.
you just gotta know how to differentiate.
And then what he
taking
won't
care
do
of
too.
yourself.
And then what he'll do if he close, he'll be like, well, Dedicated Grind got something. Then he'll be like, Young Meek Jones, you got something there. It's 12 o'clock at night. I open up the trap for everybody.
It's a lot of
I
times
open
where
it up.
it's a lot of times where I do call different brands like,
Like, hey, you
hey,
got
they
this.
were looking for a yellow and orange
I'm
shirt.
low.
Man, you got a yellow and orange
Orange
shirt,
shirt,
man.
I'm low.
I didn't know how to do that, man.
It's I done called people more times than enough. Let me tell you.
He do.
I ain't like that.
Hey, have you ever gave a customer bad merchandise and you knew that it was messed up?
I'm gonna be honest, I have. I'm like, man, I ain't going back to the store and buy another shirt. I'm finna print this up. Then it got like it didn't come all right.
Yeah.
I'm like, store closed.
Store
They
closed.
want it tonight. And I'm looking at it. I hold it up in the mirror and look at it like this. I'm like, I
They
can't
get
really
away with
tell.
it.
Yeah, they can get away. Yeah, they
That's
cock
part
out.
of
They
the
cock
design.
out anyway. So.
They gotta be a part of the design.
Hey,
though.
I'm gonna be honest. I try to keep it real. So if now there's been time I don't catch everything, but you know we just don't catch everything. That's how it is. But when I
sell
do,
it.
I may say, look, it's a mark on this shirt.
He
I'm
got
gonna
it.
sell it.
He
I'm
got
gonna
it.
be like, look. I'm gonna be like, look. I'll take 10% off of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He used to have a whole defect.
I had a
rack.
defect, but I did a defect wrap for $9.99.
But he still sold
But
it.
I still sold it, but I told them it was defect though, so they knew.
You better profit.
They do though.
So like we all have
So they come, they really just come along with the bid, you know what I'm saying? Come along with the design.
And some people might like that defect. They might don't care about that defect.
Yeah,
Like,
because I mean, honestly, some people may make an item a defect, technically. Well, it wouldn't be a defect, but like let's say if you had the mine framed across the shirt, and then a girl cut the shoulder off and take it off.
Right.
Now the mine like you're going down the hill.
Yeah.
So now people like, is the mine correct? No, that's just the way they styled it. So, you know.
Have y'all ever had a time where y'all want to like quit?
Shoot, boy, it been plenty of time we done had. Me and him done talked about it plenty of time. Like having them boxes in there, they went moving. We went back early in 2017.
Yeah.
Like man, this here ain't working. Like I got all this shirt, and I didn't went broke. I didn't put all my whole check into it.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
mean,
whole check, and I'm like,
I'm
but
gonna
this
be
ain't
honest,
doing anything.
when I started my brand, that's the reason why I went on a hiatus after that first year. Because I'm like, within that first year, I was expecting like to do way more numbers than I was doing. So I wanted to rebrand, and you know, I quit. I guess for a year.
Yeah.
Till like,
it wasn't no trend back. I don't say it wasn't a trend, but it wasn't no big thing back then. Like when I was like now everybody come out their own brand, but back then when y'all started, I can attest to that.
but I tell you this, when
They weren't really shopping with
2025 is there. You'll see a huge decrease. Like, what happened to this? What happened to that? So some people, you know, it's just a time for the moment thing. Some people like really want to do it for a lifetime. It all depends, but. Yeah, everybody, that crosses your mind, like, even when you're doing well, but you just gotta recenter yourself.
Yeah, the way I think now, if I quit on Dedicated Grind, I'm quitting on myself because it's a part in me. Like I got it tatted on me, so
Right.
if I quit on Dedicated Grind, I'm quitting on myself. And can't nobody, if you quit on your grind, it's just like you might as well say you're quitting on your job. You quitting on what really gonna bring you passion, that really gonna make you happy. So.
And I love the fact that you sell Dedicated Grind and you live by having a dedicated grind. I wouldn't be purchasing your shirt because I got on your shorts right now. I wouldn't be purchasing it if you was talking about Dedicated Grind, but you lazy. You ain't really about that life. You just kind of like you're selling the image that you don't, as the owner, don't live up to. You know, so.
How do y'all treat customers with bad attitudes?
Treat them like they got a great attitude. We don't respond to that. Like they looking for a response and a reaction out of every reaction. Don't deserve an action out
so
of
y'all
you.
done dealt with that before. Like,
Look, I'm in the customer service world, so I deal with bad customers before I even get to this job. I'm working with customers all day. So you might well say I work with people 24 hours a day, like with customers. So when you go get bad customers, the way you kill them with kindness, like
but
they gonna
give
stay
me one
kind.
experience, like what they becoming like I ain't paying it. What how they be
Like they be like, man, you crazy, like that him like this is too high. Like they try to get an attitude about my art.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like you going into a museum and trying to buy their masterpiece and telling them they crazy.
Yeah.
Like you can go. I ain't never heard nobody go complain to Jordan. I ain't nobody go complain to Nike, telling them like they're too high. They going in by them days.
Look, I don't care if you don't do it to the older business, don't do it to the young businesses either. You know,
that's the thing.
especially not the black owned ones.
Like that real, and you get real personal. Like you get people that say like I sit right here, and then you know they want to when they go by these days, they act like they want to flex and say they got the money.
Yeah.
When they come into the smaller establishment,
Money shop
they
now.
want to try to get it as low as possible. Man, you down get these 2 for $10 right here.
Yeah.
Like, nah,
But like he said,
that.
we just don't respond to attitudes. Like we know we have a balanced mental, and we have a respect for people, even if when they don't have respect for themselves or for us or our business. Because at the end of the day, that person, they think they're having a bad day, but they're just having a bad moment, and you have the opportunity to turn that moment around. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So when somebody come in with attitude and they say, yeah, I'm like, you gonna smile or not? Yeah, and they just bust out laughing, like whole mood.
And then both of us are getting to the deal. We probably got customers that'll fight you over the brand that'll go toe to toe with you. So like if you got to be aware of who in here.
Yeah, you're right though.
Like I didn't came in the shop and I didn't check the guy from him, telling him that his shirt was too high, and he had on the Jordan shirt that day. Right here in the shop, I checked him like how you gonna tell me that you got on the Michael Jordan shirt? I know you spent $50.
Right.
This shirt right here $32, so you can't tell me. And then he couldn't say nothing. His throat got dry. Now, like, what you gonna say nothing? Like, now you want to take a couple water. If you ain't got it, just say you ain't got it.
My thing is like,
you ain't got it. That's all it is. Just simple.
You don't know like a joint you paying, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I know like they know y'all.
How do y'all deal with people comparing y'all to?
Shoot, we laugh at it. Like we really laugh at it. Cause
y'all really get comparisons for real?
Like, no, we'll talk about it before we even do it. Like when he first did a Chanel tee, and I came right behind him with Chanel, and then if somebody be like, BD had these, like, okay. Like everybody got these, like they got some people.
Somebody had it before me.
They got some dunks and they got some retro ones. Like they both look the same. It's something they did. Now they got some Air Kai's. Now they look just the same way.
They the same way as
like,
the Jordan one.
It go repeat itself. It's just about you putting your spin on it and putting your last on. As long as they ain't like we talk about it. We sit here laughing.
And he even though my biggest thing is I don't compete. I create. Yeah. So even if someone thinks I'm in competition with them or with someone else, I'm not. I just focus on creating. That's it. So when I'm focusing on my food and not another's plate,
you feel me?
You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to worry about. We gonna you know what I'm saying? We gonna help each other out anyway. So if somebody around us say, "Ooh, he did it," like we probably talked about it. Like not like we planned it, but we just be.
You know.
And then look, when we say they both bought the shirt for both of us, so we both with it.
That's what I said. I both eat. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight to another episode of BabyD TV. Yes, sir. I enjoyed tonight, man. Hope y'all got educated on some things y'all didn't know nothing about, man. Yep. Shouts out to Dedicated Grind and Mind Clothing. For real, man.
Make sure y'all go to the website. Make sure y'all support.
And follow the social media platforms too, because that's how you're gonna keep up with the announcements. You can't keep up with the announcement by following me or by following him.
And make sure y'all check in with the Mind Clothing too.
Hey, he do delivery services, y'all. Local delivery service. You might pull up on you with a pack of tea. Stop
playing. Really talking out the trunk for real. You really do that, man. But yeah, y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. We out, man. Conversation rule the nation. For our class run the world. We out.
Should we tap in with all the young people and keep them like inspired? And just pick up the phone, reach out to them, man. We here.
And hey, man, they know, all of them know we done chopped up with the majority of them. If they ever need us, you know, we here. We all looking for each other to grow, man. We are young business. They young businesses too, man. And nobody is more established than the next, man. And so, hey, it's snuff out here for everybody. You know?
That's what we about right here, BabyD TV. Y'all use our resources, man. Y'all hit them up. They give y'all some good advice. They give y'all some good stories to tell y'all on how they started their establishment or whatever. Y'all lock in.